weather was absolutely torrential the last 2 days. Even this morning it actually copped it. A few guys decided to pull the pin. But nonetheless, Mr. Consistency over here, Benny A. He's usually fishing with his young bloke Tom, but mate, you had a really good weekend. You only had one, let's call it in your scale, an average session. For the rest of us, it was okay. But mate, how'd you find it out there over the 3 sessions?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I caught a good lot in the first session yesterday on Saturday, and I found yesterday afternoon a lot tougher. I ran around the same handful of areas, all down from the middle of the dam back down towards the ramp here in the base and the narrows, and I did the same thing yesterday, Arvo, and there just wasn't near as many fish on the scope, as well as I couldn't get bid either. So that's why I fell a couple short yesterday. But it's funny, this morning they seemed to reload just on a couple of spots, and they bit good, not straight away in the first hour's caught, but there seemed to be just this little period about 8 o'clock, I reckon. For an hour, I pretty much caught all my fish. Yeah.
I mean, as I said, there was a lot of guys. There was a lot of donuts this weekend. So guys that normally do catch fish struggled, and obviously cream rises to the top. You know, as much as a lot of guys were throwing plastics, what do you reckon might have been the difference between your approach to some of the other guys?
Well, we had a normal family bassin round here 2 weeks ago, and a few of us used that for a bit of a pre-fish, and I did a bit of pre-fishing before that, as well as pre-fishing before this one on Thursday afternoon and a bit Friday, and I fished around where I feel you'll get the bigger fish start turning up a lot, and I was getting odd ones, but I felt like I wasn't going to put a bag together in them areas. So I found a bit of broken, rocky, timbery type points that had schools of fish on them, and I did lose a couple of big ones in the timber, and thought, I just aimed to just try and be consistent. So I thought I'll just fish where I know I can catch bag limits and see how that falls. And I took that approach last 2 weeks ago at the family bassin, and I think I was second or third overall, and I thought I'll just do the same, see how it falls, because I know the consistency's not good at the moment. It's easy to get a bag one session and then nothing the next. They're moving. Yeah.
Any fixation on colour, mate, or do you just, you were saying before, you just grab whatever's in the bag and put it on?
Yeah, pretty much. I do. I find as long as I just like clear, natural colours, you know, a little bit of sparkle. Those little smelts that the lake's full of and that the fish have got real fat eating, they're all kind of pretty clear. They've got a bit of a white chrome belly type on them, and we've had fish spewing them up a lot lately, and some of the bait's got quite large too. So I just pretty much go, well, if the bait's clear with a white belly, I'll just run a white jig head and a clear plastic.
No worries. And depth, I mean, a lot of guys were fishing either up tight to the bank. Obviously we had some big bags caught out deeper. Did you find were you sort of fishing a contour line or anything particular?
Yeah, I reckon I caught most of my fish between probably 10 and 20 foot. Whereas 2 weeks ago I caught them a bit wider than that, and this morning they seem to get in tighter again, like just on the edge of the brush in kind of 10 foot. I did notice there was more fish there today, and I think that's why I got a bit better bag too, because all the rain for a couple of days or something just made a few more go a bit shallow. So they are in a mixed depth still. It's that transition time of year, I reckon.
I guess coming into round 3, we're going to go back to St Clair, so we're hoping it's going to be a dedicated plastic body. You're looking forward to that? Yeah,
I like the winter events. I do. I like fishing plastics, and it's a shame there's a little bit of an edge bite here, but it's hard to rely on. It's a shame we can't be, this time of year we should be jerk baiting them and stuff, but I just think there's too much bait, and I think St Clair will be the same. It'll be plastics. Yeah.
Well, there, folks, round 2, second place, Benny Hay with 13 fish for 12.3 kilos. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Well done. All right, guys, here we are again, round 2 at Glenbourne. Trusted home of this, let's call him the bass gun. He does a bit of guiding out here from time to time. Graham Ford, mate, fantastic event. I mean, tough weather conditions. A lot of guys struggle to get fish, let alone getting their bags, but you stayed on pretty recently. Other than the first session, you're on song.
Yeah, no, I mainly fish deep fish with ice jigs around from anywhere from 30 foot to 70 foot. Actually got one yesterday afternoon, 70 foot on the bottom.
Unbelievable, mate. And you obviously fishing up the top end of the dam. I mean, you had some good sort of vibes after, was it last weekend or 2 weeks ago? We had the family bassin.
Yeah. Well, I caught them pretty good on the first day at family bassin, but my fish moved on the second day, and I sort of couldn't find them, and I donated on the second day on the family bassin, and the fish had moved again that I'd found yesterday morning, so I had to go and re-find them, and and got them pretty quick on yesterday arvo, and then got them pretty quick this morning too.
Just looking at the size of some of those fish, obviously they're the bigger females. The fish, are they into that sort of spawn mode? Do you reckon that's what's going on at the moment?
Yeah, the bigger ones, a lot of the bigger fish, when I was bringing them up, they had roe coming out of them. So, and there was heaps of little guys hanging around them, and if you caught a little guy, he was milky. So they were getting in that mode.
So obviously the weather would have upset a lot of people. I mean, you were just headed up to that one area and you were pretty confident in?
Oh, I moved around a lot up the back area, like I wasn't sort of in one spot. I found a fair few fish in the trees, and if you pulled up at the trees and put the panoptics on them, and you'd see them coming out at you, and if they come out at you, you knew they were going to eat. Yeah.
So any advice for guys that are guys and girls that want to come up here and have a fish in the dam? But it is a challenging time. It's in that transition, but it sounds like they're just starting to come on really well. They want to book a charter with yourself or come out and find out about the dam. How they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Australian Inland Fishing Charters. Phone number, contact, send me a message, and I can take us out and teach us how to catch a few.
Well, there you are, round 2 winner, Graham Ford, an impressive bag, 13.6 kilos. Only the 12 fish. You're just giving everybody else a bit of a chance, I thought. But anyway, we'll see you at the next round, and well done, 40.
Thank you, Cam.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Very done.